now 6 p.m. and we call this meeting to order, the special meeting of the Floresville Economic Development Corporation. The date is April 24th, and let the minutes reflect that we do have a quorum. With us this evening, we have Ms. Mary Helen Teagan, Mr. Sam Carter, Mr. Jordan Martin, Mr. Nick Nason, myself, David the Bosket, and with us also is our Executive Director, Cortland Holman, and our attorney, Mr. I haven't seen him in so long. What's his name? Daniel Santee. Yes. Just making
we're not
sure.
that pigeonholes.
Yes. This evening also with us is our city manager, Mr. Andy Jocelyn.
Thank you, sir.
Our HR director, Ms. Margaret Tejada. Our finance director, Ms. Cindy Stern. And we have a couple of guests in the audience, which I'm sure they will introduce themselves in just a second. Before we get started, it's customary for us to begin with an invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge. And would like to, let the minutes reflect, Mr. Jacob Silva is with us now as well. Time is 6:02. And would like to ask Ms. Teagan if she'd be so kind and lead us with an invocation.
The same one, we appreciate it.
Why don't we recite the Our Father? I think all of us know that. Boy, do we need his help. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Let's use a podium.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, at this time, we would like to hear any public comments of business related to the Floresville Economic Development Corporation. As a reminder, if you have comments, please state your name and your address. And each member of the public will have up to 3 minutes to address the board. We cannot take action on anything that is talked about in citizens' comments, but we may, in the future, put it as an agenda item. So at this time, do we have any citizens' comments?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, before the ladies come up here, Aaron Wagner is our CEO. We thank him for allowing us to use the facility. Housekeeping issues, he wanted to make sure to let everybody know the exit sign is here in case of a fire, out and to the right immediately. To the left are the men's and ladies facilities. If you'd like to utilize those, there's water in the refrigerator, coffee, and mints on the tables. He wanted me to tell you that, and he appreciates us being here.
Well, we appreciate his hospitality. This is a very nice boardroom. It feels like we went to the high rent district to have a meeting.
It's not on a Thursday, we go dancing.
That's right. We're indeed grateful for the hospitality. And at this time, is there any citizens' comments? Would you please come to the podium and state your name and...
Hi, my name is Neela Hopkins. I live on County Road 120. I am a Floresville resident, and I'm here with Viola Henke, who is also a Floresville resident. We appreciate being here tonight. Viola's also the producer of the Floresville Opera, so if you're doing anything this Thursday, then come on down. I can only imagine the list is incredibly long for the FEDC and all the projects that you have probably going on, but I just wanted to bring another one to the table. The hike and bike trail, we've been down there, is absolutely beautiful. The finished product is gorgeous. But there's one thing missing. It's not complete without the focal point, which just happens to be the historic Floresville train depot. When the railroad arrived in Floresville, the population grew from 400 in 1885 to 1,500 5 years later. And because of that, it also, Floresville took over as the Wilson County seat from Sutherland Springs. Since my time is limited tonight, I'd like to point out an article that I've given everybody that Viola found on the internet, and it was published by the Texas Transportation Museum. I had to do a little cut and paste because there were pictures there and they wouldn't print, of course. But it mentions the FEDC several times and how they brought the depot back to Floresville in 2004. This last Saturday, we were able to see inside the depot thanks to our city manager, Jocelyn. We appreciated the time. When we walked in there, the ideas just started to flow. What can we do here? Oh my gosh, this is going to be, could be awesome. And do something with that historic building. Don't let it sit there empty. Something can be done. And I hope this idea still interests the FEDC. Excuse me. We're working, we would like to help you, help this town and restore this depot to the original glory. Doug Fazy, who was the contractor that did restore the DeWeese Remschel House, and he also restored the Wilson County Jailhouse Museum, was with us that Saturday, and he said the structure really is in better shape than thought. It's pretty sound, and I think it could be really neat if we work on this. So we would like to schedule some time with you to discuss many options and different avenues that could possibly fund the project. If it wasn't for the train depot, Floresville would not be what it is today. We would like Floresville to remain true to its roots, celebrating its history, and progressing into the future with much promise and pride.
If I may?
Yes, sir.
1 second, the 3 minutes, right, but I believe that the board, if it's okay with the board, that we extend the time since Ms. Henke is not getting to...
3 more nights.
No, you're fine. We can extend it, provide that courtesy. Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Please proceed.
I just hope you'll take a few minutes to read the article, and it shows you how important this depot is to Floresville's growth. We really thank you for your time and opportunity to be here tonight. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Did she steal your thunder, or were you next?
No,
No?
we're just a tag team.
Mr. Chairman, and just on the closing note on that, we do have the ribbon cutting of the hike and bike trail this Saturday, April 27th at 10 a.m. at the Beer Warehouse, 1302 South 2nd. Everybody's invited. We've been sending out these invitations, and we can discuss more on that as we move forward.
Great. That is wonderful. I haven't had the opportunity to walk it yet, but looking forward to it. At this time, we will, there's no other citizens' comments. We will move on to item number 5, the consent agenda. The following items are considered routine by the Floresville Economic Development Corporation and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be a separate discussion on these items unless requested by a board member, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed after the consent agenda.
There's no action item on this one at this time.
None at this time, so we will move on to item number 6, discussion and possible action concerning contracting with retail strategies. And we'd like our executive director to give us a little background on this particular item.
So Retail Strategies is an economic development organization that assists cities to attract businesses into our community. They're very, very robust. They're a very large corporate company. We've got about 55 employees, and they deal with quite a bit of this area of Texas. They have a representative in Dallas. They are also representatives in Alabama and other locations. I've known them for quite some time, and I've used them to great success. I've had a subcommittee of three of us, Mary Helen, David, and Nick, to meet with them to discuss their services to see if they would be a fit for Floresville. I believe they would be. They have also a development arm on their side as well, so if it behooves them, they may even take on the project or development of a property in our city, which I know they've done before in other cities. So when I'm looking for economic development organizations to assist us, I need the ones that are the most competent in the ability to attract businesses to this community, that have additional services to attract businesses here. The Floresville EDC has already been discussing a downtown revitalization plan with them through an EDA grant, so they've already had some meetings with them in the past. And if that EDA grant, or the grant comes in, it's not an EDA grant, if that grant comes in for that service, this would be an additional service to contract with them if the board so chooses to do so. Can you all three give your experience or your discussion thoughts of the subcommittee?
No, go ahead.
You would like to, well, Mr. Holman mentioned something about a downtown revitalization, and it's really plays hand in hand with this company that we met with them last week, and they gave us a presentation of the services that they provide. But I don't want the board and the public and all those that are present to mistake. There's two projects if we were to consider engaging this company. The downtown revitalization project is a grant administered by UTSA, and there's always, well, there's never a guarantee on whether there'll be a recipient, but I will share with y'all that there was only one submission for this grant, and we happen to be the lone entity.
If we don't get it, we're in trouble.
Yes, and we'll know in June. What this entails is a 5-year revitalization plan that includes all the business owners, all the entities that would benefit from revitalizing the downtown area. Now, this grant is pretty substantial. I believe that it would cost $45,000 per year for 5 years to administer this plan. So it's very robust, very comprehensive, and they've had great success administering this program. That's the part that I don't want to get diluted by the other. The other is they are an economic development source for cities and counties. And their presentation was very impressive. One of the things that we need to, as a board, consider is the cost. If the benefit matches the cost, then by all means, I think we should consider it. It is $45,000 per year. The company that we currently engage is $10,000 per year. So I don't believe that we would engage both companies. We would have to choose which of the two provides the service. From what I saw, I see the potential for quite a bit of planned growth. If we let it happen on its own, we are, I think, going to be in not a very good position, I think, to plan, but with the help of the city and all those involved, how we want this town to grow. Listen to the community, listen to the citizens, and this is something that this company does. Is they engage the public. They have public forums, they have town hall meetings coordinated with the executive director, which I think is sorely needed in order to get the public's opinion and then take action on it. So that, yes, sir.
Okay. There's two parts to this.
Correct.
One part doesn't cost us nothing. It's all grant driven. For 5 years, 45,000 coming from UT,
The grant.
the grant.
It's a grant from
Okay.
UTS.
The other part will cost us 45, so we're getting $90,000 worth of value for only 45,000. And this company, basically, what I understood, they will have almost like a person assigned to us directly. The whole company is, but one person will be able to reach. They'll come to meetings. They're very energetic to come to everything the way he was talking about it. But I like it because they hit towns our size and do a lot of the business. And so they know how to grow our size of towns. They had a lot of knowledge coming into the meeting on it, really.
We asked them some tough questions, and God didn't budge. He's
Pretty back down.
yes, sir.
So the current contract, what is our return on the investment on them? I suspect very low.
Well, that's something that we've discussed in private previously in a closed session. What we're doing at this time is evaluating all of our vendors, as we should, to find out exactly what you're asking, Mr. Carter. What kind of a return are we getting on the vendors that we use? Now, that would be up to the board to decide whether we've received. We have received some leads, and we have received some entities that have come to town through the assistance of these folks. On the other hand, we've got a lot of growth that's generic. It's going to happen just because of our location. So we need to really hone down and decide whether what we're doing is going to get us where we need to go, where we would like to go.
Also want to remind you, at the last board meeting, the board did vote to terminate retail coaches' services.
Is that the one where?
Yes, sir. That is,
That's all in here.
okay.
That's all in here, because we have so many contracts.
Exactly.
Saying that, that way, wasn't clear enough. If it's retail coach, you're right.
Yes, sir. And that was the reason that we are evaluating all of our vendors. And as we progress with the next regular meeting, we will talk about others in closed session and decide whether it's in the best interest of the EDC, the city, and the citizens.
Where are we going to get the money from?
Sir?
Where are we going to get the money from in this current year budget?
Well, we, as a matter of fact, it's funny you should ask that. We do have funds that have been in our budget, I think, for a couple of years now, that have not actually been put to use. I think we would have to have a budget amendment if we chose to engage this company. We would need a budget amendment approved by the city. But we do have funds. I believe at the last time that we checked, there's about 240,000 of funds that are in a line item that has not been used. And we discussed this in 3 meetings ago, I believe. Yeah, about 3 meetings ago. And we would need the assistance of Ms. Stern and it just so happens one of those items was the depot building. We've had that on actually for 3 years now on the depot, and it's money that went from 1 year to the next. So we really need to, bottom line, we would need a budget amendment to answer your question.
Great, you got that. So This is a larger company. It has more wherewithal. When we finally do go to the retail conferences, we have the seat at their table as necessary to meet with development groups or with retail businesses. So I utilize their services quite a bit. And when we do go to conferences, they'll help set up meetings with the various people we want to entice to the community, either as a developer or as a business.
Well, I have one quick item that differentiates them a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot from the company we used previously. They produce all of the marketing items for the EDC in the city. They coordinate meetings with the developers prior to us going to these events. You know, going to these events and showing up just with printed items that are, printed last minute and hoping to get an appointment is, in my opinion, a waste of time.
Yeah.
If you don't have preset appointments with developers, with entities that we could potentially court to our city, then, but in the past, we've had to produce these items ourselves and then go out and walk around this huge complex and try to attract businesses. And, you know, the folks that have done it in the past have done a good job. It's not easy. I think it would simplify things if we had appointments prior to showing up to these conferences.
Yeah, otherwise it's a waste of your time. Well, it's not a waste of your time. You still get in front of people, but it's best to get the interest of the businesses that we want to meet with that meet our demographics, because there's a lot of businesses at these two conferences that we would be going to. One is Red River, the other one is Recon, which is coming up in mid-May. If we hired their services today, we just barely have enough time for them to represent us. I doubt we could get out there ourselves, but have them represent us. They do create the marketing tools, as David stated. So it would be not be just a business individual one, but it's for the entire city marketing aspect. That would also potentially go on our website, and I utilize to hand out to various businesses as part of our marketing tool when I'm talking to individual businesses, because it's more citywide.
I'd like to point out that on retail strategies, there is an opt-out, an annual opt-out of that, with no penalty.
Very good point, because it is a 3-year contract. However, that's a very good point that
And I was
you're
surprised at that. I really was kind of surprised.
They've been doing that forever, as far as how long as I know. One of the other things that they've also put into the contract at your request is that within a certain area, the other communities that are within that sphere, it's item number R, it's called Most Favored Nations. In a 25-minute drive time, no other community or city can utilize their services unless the EDC allows that other community to be hired by them, if we allow that other city to do so. So right now, it's an exclusion.
Well, when you're spending that kind of
We're
money.
spending
you
the
want
money, I think the benefit should be for us, not.
Right. Now, this is a lot to take in, this agreement. Of course, we'll have to go through our attorneys. If we consider doing it, in my opinion, we should look this over. I think that it's a lot to take in. I think you should do a little bit of research on the company. There's quite a bit in this handout, and potentially bring it up again as an agenda item for our next meeting. I think to try to jump through hoops and be at the May 20-something meeting in Las Vegas so they can represent us, we're not doing ourselves justice. I think we need to postpone this and put it on a future agenda, and give the board enough time to absorb the information before we make a commitment of $45,000 per year for the next 3 years. Now, it's up to the board, that's just a recommendation.
I did ask our representative, whose name is Chris Brontinger, I said this is probably just going to be for discussion only, and that I'd like for him to present to the entire board at our next board meeting.
Everyone okay with that? Okay. All right. So on this item number 6, unless anyone has any other comments, we are going to postpone this, and the discussion is over on this particular item.
No action taken.
No action on that item number 6. Moving on to item 7, executive closed session. And we will list the time when we go into closed session, but this is to discuss item 7A, 7B, and 7C, which is Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney regarding pending litigation and matters in which the duty of the Floresville Economic Development Corporation attorney requires to be discussed in closed meetings. 7B, Texas Government Code Section 551.072, deliberating regarding real estate property, purchase, exchange, lease, or value through real estate property, to wit, discuss FEDC real estate properties, incubator, and leases. Item 7C, Texas Government Code 551.087, discussion regarding economic development negotiations and opportunities, to wit, discuss potential tenants and negotiation of leases. And the time is now 6:27, and we will go into executive session. We need a motion to go into executive session. Moved by Ms. Teagan. Seconded by Mr. Silva. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion passes 4-2.
Mr. Chairman, who would you like to stay in the executive session?
I would like our